Hop off.
Sure. Oh, okay, I see.
Oh, I'm not there.
Okay.
Bon matin. Good morning.
It's
in English, it's fine.
Yeah, I was going to say bon matin.
Yeah. We're going to do a sound check first and foremost. How is the sound for you guys? We'll just maybe wait for a few people to join.
Good. Sound check's good.
Is it 10:30 yet?
11:30.
11:30.
Well, it depends. It's
Where you are.
10:30 in Manitoba.
Exactly.
So good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the farm.
Bionaka Farm in Freshburg.
It sounds like we're scripted.
It does, doesn't it?
So your part, I say my part.
Which is
So
not the case.
yeah, we're excited to take you on for the second year on a this year though much tighter, much shorter version of the farm tour. It's an updated version with new plants and a secret, not so secret, project that we'll share with you. A lab that we have what's the word? Built,
created into our into the warehouse, new space. So
for plant extraction and such. So we'll get going, and people will join as they go. Ask your questions as we go. That's fine, but we're going to have a question period at the end, and
we'll try to stay close to the phones as much as possible.
yes.
For
Do we have sound check?
It's all good. Okay.
But most importantly, before we start, we're having the two platforms right now. We have Romy on Instagram and Christine on Facebook.
Hello.
And they're your camera woman, part of our team, and so thank you guys for being there.
Thank you.
So let's start. We're standing in front of the Lavender. So today, well, what's the goal? Update on the farm, the plants, and then spend some time inside the lab to show you the new project. So lavender, existing lavender from last year, and then we've planted another row this summer. And I think we have to remind ourselves to speak towards the camera because people won't hear us. So so that's a new little plantation of lavender. Small little plants. They were planted in the spring. And this plant here is about 5 times the size as it was. And here's a weed. And because we're maniacs, I'll remove it. Oh, here's another one. So yeah, the plants this year will be lightly harvested, but mostly let it grow. And then next year it's gonna be much bigger. Those plants back there are 3 years old.
4 years old.
4 years old. And they were the flowers were harvested already. So we're going to move on to next phase. Stace, why don't you take us?
Okay, come this way. I have a tendency to walk fast. So
Watch the rocks on, guys, so you don't trip. What's that, geranium?
This is, geranium.
Right here,
And
down here. And unfortunately, you guys cannot smell what we smell, but we'll tease you. And but geranium's very aromatic.
Yeah.
We have our row of dandelion right here. We grow this plant, which is for some people counterintuitive as they're trying to get rid of their dandelion on their lawns. But we grow it because it's much easier to harvest the plant, and the roots get much bigger in a soft soil rather than in the wild where it's usually compacted.
So it rolls on to the other side of the garden. Okay.
What do we got here, Stacey?
So we have our sage, roe, a lemon balm. Sorry, I said it in French. Meliss.
Planted
Lemon
last
balm.
year.
Yep. And we continue on to a new row of lavender. Again, lemon balm, sage. These plants were planted this year, and then lemon balm. So the lemon balm is to serve for a future project.
New product.
And the sage, well, we love our sage in our current shampoo bases and our hand sanitizer. So we have increased the rows this year. So very aromatic. It's too bad that we can't get the aroma to you through the phones, though you can see the big leaves and big, strong, healthy leaves.
Sage is one of our main produce plants. So we're big fans of biodiversity. The farm is certified organic, and we run it with permaculture principles, which biodiversity is a big part of that. So you never see one plant, like it's always a mix. We're trying to have that biodiversity. We believe that's life's. It's actually a law of life that we believe that we must follow, both as farmers and as humans. Apple tree, Macintosh, scabby apples. We don't care because we do apple cider vinegar. We're not selling these apples for consumption. It actually, without joking, these trees are not sprayed. No chemical sprays. Certified organic orchard. There's 5 trees here, but we actually have 200 on the farm, most at the end of the road. And we, for the last few years, have been making apple cider vinegar. And it comes from these apples. So we don't care if they look like that because we press them and juice them. We'll have more info on the apple cider vinegar once we're inside. But and this is a new Calendula little field or area patch that was prepared in the fall. And we planted them, well, it's an annual plant, so it obviously has to be planted in the spring no matter what. But it was harvested yesterday, so we apologize for the low density. Like this flower here will be ready in about a day or two. It's gonna mostly double in size almost. And yeah, we love Calendula. It produces non-stop till everything freezes.
And that's a tincture that goes into our hand sanitizer as well, and to also our shampoo base.
So we actually have Calendula drying inside, so we'll show you. And as we're walking, we are hearing here the insects. So maybe if I shut up for a second, you can hear them. Hope you can hear them. But the wild fields in front of us are purposely kept wild to really increase or welcome or invite biodiversity, which there's no better way to let nature. We cannot beat nature at creating biodiversity, so we leave these fields wild. That's also where we harvest a nettle and horsetail. And in front of us here, Stacey, what do we got?
Well, we have more sage, lemon balm, sage, and then lavender. So these are new, these are planted this year, and they're growing in abundance. So we've already harvested them lightly one time, and we'll come in for a second harvest very soon. So
just also to be mindful, the rows or the rows in front of us are quite wide, but these plants are they're gonna triple, quadruple in size. So the circulation will get a lot narrower than this. And so for this year, for this visit, anyway, we're going to keep it tight. We're going to go inside just to be mindful of time. So it's a quick overview of the plants. Last year we had a kind of a lengthier live version, which was a bit too long, we think. But so this year we're keeping it tight. A little snapshot, a little teaser of the farm, and we're looking to have more extensive sharing of processes at a different time, but it's just too much to do everything in one day, or in one sitting, or in one helping, or whatever you want to call that. So, Stacey, you want to tell us about these plants?
So, this is Echinacea. It's also on its way. It's almost finished its season, so it's starting to turn with the season as we're entering into fall. Here we have yarrow, a row of yarrow, and that too is done for the season. And it's a horseshoe. The platform that we have, it's a horseshoe. So these continue around, like the sauge rose and the lemon balm rose that you saw on the other side. They'll continue around and join on this side. So more sage and our chamomile, which is also done for the year. So we'll clean up this row and prepare it again next spring.
Yeah, Stacey said it's true. We're past the peak.
Yeah.
But we decided to wait a bit this year because we wanted to show you the lab, which is not finished. But 2 weeks ago we had nothing to show, so we chose to compromise the peak season of the plants, so we could at the same time show you the status on the lab that we've been working on since last October, and it has worked our patience. But we are really excited to share it with you today. It's not complete, but I know it's easy to say. When people come at your house, I would say, excuse the mess. That's an easy excuse, but it's true. It's not finished, but we didn't want to wait till it was finished to tease you, I guess. So we're going into the warehouse, and this is our reception place where we usually host you. This year we again chose not to have an event on site, but next year we should likely return to our our yearly gathering at the farm for garden visits, etc. So stay tuned, but that's why this year we're doing a bit virtual thing again for you guys.
I'll make it more official. Come on in. So this is our new space, lab, inventory. This is our dryer, our official dryer now, where we have the cover up now for you to see all the rackings.
Drying racks.
Drying racks. Thank you. And but normally this is covered and it's in the dark, so the plants that are drying do not lose their color. So that's very important in the drying process, that's dark all the time for the plants to keep their color and the properties. So
Dark, dry, and with air movement.
Yes.
Those are 3 keys. And so
So this is just an example. These were harvested yesterday, and they're on their way to drying and saving their properties in time.
cool. So last year we had 1/3 of the capacity to dry, and it was constantly a choking point, especially at this time when we're starting to do calendula and sage at the same time. So our dryer was a choking point, so the gardeners are quite happy this year not having, well, there's always a limit, but the limit's much bigger. So
and here it's not, and there's an echoes, but so I'm sorry, but this will be the official room for transformation. So currently we have a small lab down in the village at the office, and we've expanded that space. So we have no more room. So we made this space much larger to accommodate the volume that we are creating for plants and transformation.
Yeah, and just to give a context, this 60 by 40 used to be a fridge for apples, and so it was pitch black, no windows, insulations on the outside. So now with the white and the windows, we made that really important. We made a choice to have a lot of light coming through, and we're quite excited about that. And we're about at 30% ready or done. There'll be a desk and more storage, and we have to bring all of our material and tools from the lab in the village. And just to give you an example, so what actually goes on in here, this is an example of maceration. This is sage, calendula, and nettle that is soaking or macerating in oil, olive oil, organic olive oil. So we work with organic olive oil, organic alcohol, or organic apple cider vinegar, which we will share a little bit with you. And it stays in there for a few weeks. Then it's filtered, and so in the maceration, the oil, it doesn't matter if it's exposed to light, but alcohol preferably is in the dark. So we have, this is the storage where we'll keep the finished products, so the filtered, and you have a couple examples here. This is not set up yet, but there's horsetail in a opaque dark bottle, so it doesn't, well, it's in a dark place, so we're fine, but it's always an extra security to have the products or the final tincture protected from light. And so the actual maceration will happen in here, where we've made these apple bins. I'm sorry. I grew up on an apple orchard, so we made these wood bins so we could keep the containers from falling. But the pots I showed you earlier with the plants in them will macerate in here, and so we'll stack them. This door shuts. It's dark, and temperature control. And there you go. So here's another example. Stacey and I made this week. This is a Calendula tincture with alcohol. Mm-hmm. And you can tell the intensity and the color of the plant. So there you go. And Stacey wants to show you.
Just a sneak peek of our designated space for these beauties, and that's for the apple cider vinegar.
So more on that later. So it's just a tease today, but these are 5,500 liter oak barrels that we purchased from a local vinegar maker in Frelingsburg. So we're quite excited. The vinegar was in there before, so more on that later. As I said earlier, we'll do information on the processes more specifically, because that's in itself will be its own thing. And I just wanted to mention, you may wonder, please prepare your questions or write your questions, because we'll head into that question period right now. But you may wonder, do we grow all of our plants? The answer is no. We buy a few plants from La Clé des Champs, which is a Quebec plant expert. If you're in the area, do go and visit their farm. It's unreal. Marie, the owner and founder, is a friend of ours, an inspiration, a mentor. They make amazing products, and so we buy whatever plants we don't grow, we buy from them. So if that was a question, I hope I've answered it right. But yeah, prepare your questions and we'll go inside, and because it's actually a bit hot in here. Cloudy day today. We love this, and we are enjoying the cooler weather.
Right.
Ça c'est sûr.
Feels good.
What do we got for questions? Any questions?
Where are you located?
We're
sorry. Paper, rock, scissors. Okay. Frelingsburg, Quebec. It's the eastern townships of Quebec.
We're actually on the Vermont border. We're an hour 15 from Montreal, 3 hours from Ottawa, 7 hours from New York, 6 hours from Toronto. Okay, enough. Any other questions?
Oh.
Right now, we're harvesting calendula, sage, and also you may wonder, like the root plants, like the dandelion, and we also did not show you, but we have burdock also growing. And the root plants are always harvested later in the fall when it freezes a little bit, so the energy goes down into the roots. So we're waiting usually around end of October or so. And yeah.
Any other questions? No? Okay.
What other updates do we have? I have updates.
When is the vinegar going on the market for purchase?
Oh.
Tricky question. Could we say end of September?
End of September.
Yeah, there's a hair treatment being prepared for which is apple cider vinegar based. It will actually smell good. Stacey and Louise found a way to macerate plants to really soften the vinegar. I mean, I know some people don't mind it, but some people do mind it. So
we feel pretty proud about it. I hope it reaches its expectations out on the market. Yeah.
Right now, we've got I'm actually inviting you to go and engage with social media, Facebook, Instagram. We do have a campaign about plastic reduction. So as of January 1st, every single product that we sell directly online or through every single store, it doesn't matter the product, the size, there's 3 bottles that's being removed from coastal or rivers, etc., that would end up in the ocean. This is a partnership through Plastic Bank. So I'm inviting you to go and like, share, or comment, and every time you do that, you're actually you're activating the removal of plastic. I can't help but share. I mean, every single of your purchase does that already, but it's such an easy way to do more by just sharing the love and share the post, and you'll find it on the Instagram and Facebook feed. So, hey, engage there. Any other questions about the farm?
I had one about if you ever give or sell seeds from your plants.
We actually gave away sage and calendula dried plants for a while, and we kind of stopped, but we don't sell. Maybe eventually. We understand the importance of heirloom and seed banks, you know, because of the quality and organic ones. Great question. Nothing yet, but we're registering the question for sure.
Thank you.
In regards to the apple cider vinegar product, will you formulate a leave-in conditioner as well?
So I'd love to, for expansion on that question, leave-in like a spray, or leave-in like more of a cream. Maybe if that person can clarify that.
Why more be around those you love? Yeah.
Oh, thank you guys. Engage with us. Send comments, questions. We are always inviting comments, constructive, whether it's things we can improve or need to improve, or ideas.